SBR Videos is sponsored by Sports Cash System. Click on the link below for more information. Hi, welcome to SBRForum Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We are previewing college football Week 9 right now, and we're talking with Joe Duffy from OffshoreInsiders.com, who asked to cover the Clemson-Maryland game. Interesting that he wants to cover the game, Clemson, off of their huge loss to Florida State. Joe, thanks for being back with us this week.
Thank you, Peter.
All right, give a quick plug for OffshoreInsiders.com before we find out which side you like in Clemson, Maryland.
Having a fantastic year. They called me the NFL specialist way back in my score phone days back in the 1980s. Still am above 60% in the year in the NFL. And a theory that we're going to discuss in this game applies several times this weekend in college football. Going to be a great weekend in college football.
Okay, sounds great. Let's hear what this theory is. Now, Clemson, of course, the story of this game off of the huge loss to Florida State. So, I mean, and you look at Maryland. Maryland is a good team, but they couldn't handle Florida State at all themselves. When they played them this year, can they come within 2 touchdowns of Clemson? I have to think probably one way or another at some point in this game, Clemson gets out to a big lead, unless they're just completely deflated and are having mental issues, and their season is going to start going into a tailspin, starting with the Florida State game. If that's how you see it, then I guess Maryland gets the cover. But who do you like here, Joe Duffy?
No, I actually am going to go with the home underdog, and It's because of what I call my bubble burst theory. Mm-hmm. Now, there are different applications in different sports, but especially in college football, when a team late in the season, and it's fairly late in the season, it becomes stronger as the year goes on, but when a team is essentially eliminated from the national championship race, especially when they hit the road the next week, they are almost always, well, not almost always, but it hits above 60% of the time, they are a very good fade. And we've run it through software. There's some subjective criterion, so you can't measure it totally objectively, but undefeated teams like week 6 or later, when they lose and they hit the road, are about a 62% go against, and that's one of the many reasons why I will be going with the home underdog here.
Okay, makes sense to me. Maryland getting 14 points. So, Maryland's struggles against Florida State don't really faze you?
Yeah, it's not there's no guarantees, but keep in mind, Clemson's offense has really struggled the last 2 weeks. Now, granted, Maryland's defense is nothing like Florida State, but Clemson, 38 points combined the last 2 weeks. That's 18.5 points per game. First 5 weeks, they averaged 44 points. So Maryland has done well at home this year. Maryland has a very young offense, but young offenses, well, young teams in general, 2 things we say: they play better as the year goes on, and they play better at home. Well, now, the year is getting deeper, and they're playing at home, and Clemson's just in a brutal spot. If I'm going to play a national powerhouse, I want to play them the week after they had their heart broken and their national championship hopes disappeared.
Great angles, Joe Duffy, like in Maryland, to cover 14 against Clemson. Thanks, Joe.